Quilter's Attic Sewing Center in Pine Bush, New York, and today I wanted to show you how quick and easy it is to personalize a little baby blanket. We've got some adorable little animals, and these unroll into a flat blanket, but then they roll up and have a little Velcro to fold up into a fun little animal. So these are great. There's a puppy dog, there's a little kitty cat, there's a duck, there's also a bunny rabbit, and finally there's a fox. So these are all very, very adorable. They're so soft, they're machine washable, and they unroll flat so you can embroider on them, and then your little one can play with it, cuddle under it, and then roll it up and it's a little toy. So I went ahead and I embroidered the word duck because I don't have anybody to give this to yet, so I didn't have a cute little kid's name to put on it. So today I want to show you all the different steps that you're going to do to get this little blanket ready to go. So you're going to, of course, need a blanket. You're going to need a tearaway stabilizer, and depending on the width of your hoop, they make 12-inch and then 20-inch wide tearaway stabilizer, and that's going to go on the back of the blanket. So that will go down in the hoop with your little animal on top. I also recommend a water-soluble topper, and this is going to wash away in the end. And all this is it's a thin little piece of stabilizer. This one's used already, but real thin, almost resembles saran wrap, but don't use saran wrap. But that's kind of what it feels like. This is going to go on top of the blanket. These are a little plush, and it keeps everything nice and smooth, and it prevents your needle from getting caught anywhere. So this is great when you're doing bath towels or anything with a bit of a nap. If you're doing a bathrobe, anything, this is great on top. So that's the water-soluble topper. So those are the two stabilizers you need. And then in the end, if you feel like the little word is rough on the back side, there is a fusible that goes on afterwards, and it's called Light and Soft Fuse On. And it's this right here. You just cut the shape you need, iron it to the back, it protects the back. Pretty much all of our embroidery machines today are touchscreen, and fingers work great. They also come with styluses, but this stylus is really neat. You can see there's a little disc on the end of it, and that works really nicely as you touch, and it's just great. So you can pick these up separately. It has this on the one end that works on most phones, but on the other end you have this, so you can use these on your cell phones, your tablets, or on your sewing machine screen. So it's got two ends, and those are really, really neat. I'm going to be working on the Baby Lock Altair today, and this machine has so many wonderful features, but just a couple I want to highlight today is the hoops. If you look at the hoop, there's a printed coating on them on the top and on the bottom. And that makes it work with my smartphone or my tablet. I can take a photo of this with something in it and project it right to my embroidery screen. And you're going to see that in a bit, that I took a picture of the duck, sent it to my machine, and I could properly place the words so it was perfect. So this machine, the Baby Lock Altair, comes with a 9.5-inch square hoop. It comes with a 4x4 hoop and a 5x7. But it also comes with a 9.5 by 14, which is almost too big to fit right on your screen. So this one is giant. Something that's really cool on some of these machines is I'm going to loosen this screw here, take this out. If you look at the inner hoop, it looks pretty normal, right? Yeah. If you look at the back, there is some steel right here and some rubber, and this steel prevents from, when you're hooping something like a little heavier, a denim jacket, a towel, anything, from this hoop from pushing in and allowing your design to pucker. So this really helps the rubber grip, as well as that steel on the back helps it from puckering, keeps everything nice and square and secure and sturdy. So I really do like these hoops. They work pretty cool, and you're going to see the coating with the smartphone in action in just a minute. I'm going to program in now what I'd like to say on my little duck blanket, and I'm just going to use the word duck since I don't know who this is a gift for. I'm going to come up to my alphabets, and there's a lot of different fonts we can use, but I'm going to go ahead and pick a nice thick one that'll show up real nice. So I'm going to choose number 16. And then I'm going to type what I want, and I'm going to just, again, use the word duck. So D, and then I'm going to go to lowercase, and So I've got the word duck programmed in. Now if I were to look at my hoop, I may not have hooped properly. So that's where some of the Baby Lock machines are really amazing. I've hooped my duck in the hoop, and I know it's not quite perfect, but that's okay. I'm going to take a photo of this, send it over to the machine, then I can move the word wherever it is that I want. Alright, I've downloaded the Baby Lock positioning app and I've opened that up on my phone. I made sure that my machine and this were on the same Wi-Fi. And now it just tells me to hold my phone right over the hoop, and an image was captured. If you can see at the bottom, it says send to the machine. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and attach my hoop. So I'm sliding my hoop on the machine. My hoop's on the machine, so now I'm going to hit send to the machine. So I touch that, sending, and embroidery sent to the machine. Okay, there it is. Image was sent from the mobile app. Update. Okay, the hoop will move. And now you can see the word duck is on the screen, but you also see that it's going to stitch right over the duck's bill, and that is not going to work. That I've put the word duck in there and I've brought over my design, I can actually see on the screen where the word duck is going to stitch, and you can tell that it doesn't look very good. Now this fabric is a bit fluffy, and you want it to stitch nice and smooth. So I'm going to recommend that you use Waterworks Topper, which is just a thin piece of stabilizer that washes away, and that's going to prevent the fabric from getting caught up in the needle. So before we can move this exactly where we want, we're going to go to embroidery. We're going to tell the machine that we want to do a basting stitch. And once we've done that, you can see I have a black outline around the word duck, and now I'm going to come to move, and I'm going to move it so the word duck is centered between his wings, and it looks like I need to go to the side a little bit. And I think it still needs to come down a little. Now it looks pretty well centered. So I'm just going to touch OK. And before I begin to sew, I'm going to lay that stabilizer down on the top. And if it puckers, it's okay because it's going to wash away in the end. So we're going to lay that down and we're going to get our machine ready to start. There are so many amazing features on the Baby Lock Altair, but one that I love is the automatic needle threader. If you see now, my needle's not threaded, but if I come over here and push this threading button, it's like magic. The threader is coming down and the needle is now threaded. You can't beat it. Now that my needle's threaded, I have my wash away stabilizer on top, the topper. I'm going to lower my presser foot and start the machine. It's going to do the basting stitch. It's done. It has an automatic scissor, so it's going to tie off and cut, and it's going to be ready to stitch out the word. While the machine is stitching, you'll notice that between each letter, the needle stops, the machine cuts the thread, and then there's a little wiper piece that wipes the extra thread so it doesn't get caught as a jump stitch between the letters. In the video, I have the machine going extremely fast, but in real life it stitches 1,050 stitches per minute, so it does get things done rather quickly. Now that my embroidery is all done, I've removed the frame from the machine and I've taken out the basting stitch. I'm going to go ahead and remove the blanket from the hoop. So I'm going to take my hoop off. And now this water-soluble topper right here pulls off very easily. So you just gently pull this off. Whatever doesn't come off in pulling will come off in your first wash. But if you get some tweezers, you can pull it all out or just get it off with the wash. You're also going to remove the stabilizer from the back of the design. And once that's all done, if you feel that the blanket is still a little rough, you can go ahead and use Light and Soft Fuse On. And that is a very, very thin, soft fusible. And I cut this out. I put it on the back of a lot of baby clothes. You just cut the size you need, fuse it to the back. It protects the edges of the stabilizer and the edges of the thread, all the from bothering the little one's skin. This is very, very soft and delicate, and that is called Light and Soft Fuse On. So this goes on as the very, very last step. You're going to gently, lightly iron to the back of this blanket because you don't want to press this flat. Okay, so it's very fun. It's very easy. You can have these done pretty quickly. Just be aware with the duck, his bill is very, very three-dimensional. So you want to be very careful. You move your words far enough down that your needle and your embroidery foot are not catching on his nose. And when you pull it off the frame at the end, make sure that doesn't get caught on your needle. But all the other animals are pretty flat, just little ears or wings or whatever. So these are super fun, super quick, easy gifts. I hope you enjoy.